Hello guys, welcome back to DSFR today. I'm going to be talking about 2017 Texas Rangers season review, and, well, quite frankly, I'm
disappointed!
Yes, I know that was a rush meme, but just give me a break, alright? So we'll start with the record and what they'll draft. So the record was 78 and 84. Again, I'm disappointed. They were third in the AL West, according to Google, but they're really tied with the Mariners for that spot. The Rangers select 15th in the 2018 draft, so they could have tanked. They could have gotten a better pick, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. They could have gotten worse, but they'll still get a decent player there. Free agents for this upcoming free agent class for the Rangers, at least, will be Gomez and Cashner. I think Gomez will get paid. I think Cashner will get paid as well. Probably around what they were. I mean, Gomez was like 11 million and Cashner was like 10. So I don't think they'll get much more than that, if at all. They'll probably get lower than that, in my opinion. But so we'll start off with the batters here. Andrews had a 4.4 WAR, which is really good. He led the team. 158 games, 100 runs, 191 hits, almost 200. 42 or 44 doubles, 20 home runs, 88 RBIs, 23 stolen bases. 297 average, 3.30 or 337 on base percentage, 471 slugging percentage, and a .174 ISO. If you don't know what that is, ISO, it's isolated power. I use it a lot for just everybody. I won't use it for guys like the Shields because you know how his power is, but it's interesting to see how guys like Andrews' ISO goes. He isn't great at it. I mean, it's not a terrible one, but terrible number, but it is what it is. But I award him the Rangers MVP this season. I think he was the best player on this team by far. He was just fantastic. He all-around player. His defense was a lot better than it usually is, which is saying something, but you know, it was a big improvement, especially on his power as well, and I think that's a really big step in direction that he needs to go towards. Now, Joey Gallo, the power hitter, 2.9 WAR, 145 games, 85 runs, 94 hits, 18 doubles, 41 home runs, there you go, 80 RBIs, a 209 average. I'm telling you, he's never going to hit over 250, in my opinion. He's probably never going to do that unless it's later in his career. 3.33 on-base percentage, 537 slugging percentage, and a .327 ISO. I think that is an elite ISO. That is a fantastic number for him. Of course, power hitters, it favors over guys like Andrews, DeShields, but that is a fantastic number. That's like not Trout levels, but it's up there, definitely. Now, Beltre, my favorite player of all time, really. Joined the 3,000 hit club this season. It was a big milestone for him. 3.5 WAR, 94 games, 47 runs, 106 hits, 22 doubles, .221 words. ISO, which is, it's decent. 17 home runs, 71 RBIs, 312 average, 383 on base percentage, 532 slugging percentage. He was fantastic. He was just all around great. Not to mention a 312 average. That is still fantastic when he's that old. He can stand the test of time. It seems like he has played fantastic this season, and he just keeps going. And that's really Beltre in a nutshell. Now you got Chirinos, who basically led Lucroy out of town after Lucroy just terrible. I don't even want to mention him, but Chirinos, 2.6 WAR, 88 games, 46 runs, 67 hits, 132 or 12 doubles, 17 home runs, 38 RBIs, 255 average, which is fantastic for a catcher. Let's see, 360 on base percentage, which is really nice. A 506 slugging percentage and a 251 ISO. So he was pretty decent. He was pretty great. Luke Roy was just terrible. He kind of just led Lucroy out of town. I love Lucroy, but he just couldn't perform here, and it sucks. But Trinos basically just outperformed him and led him out of town. So I think that we got the fair side of that deal. So I think that like Trinos has had his career year. He's probably going to play for a couple more seasons. He's getting up there in age, so we'll see. But he had his best career season this year, and I think that he'll be the starting catcher for a little bit more, a couple more seasons, we'll say. Now for the pitchers, a very just disappointing season for the pitching. It was just all around team effort, just stinking it up, man. There was only a couple of pitchers that I really felt really good this season. Claudio was one of them. 70 games, 82 innings pitched, a 2.50 ERA with a 3.21 FIP. Now, let me explain what FIP is. So FIP, I use more, I would say more of a backup plan as an ERA. I think that FIP is more of a grade judge a pitcher. If a pitcher has a higher FIP than his ERA, that means that, well, the defense is really helping him out. If he has a lower FIP than his ERA, that means that the defense isn't helping him out. So it is fielding independent pitching, I'm pretty sure, which explains the acronym. But I feel like it's a pretty decent stat to judge on, and I think that it should be used alongside ERA, definitely. But he had a really good FIP that's really solid, 3.21. That is a really solid one. Like if you have an under 3 or 2, that's elite. If you have a 4, that's about average. If you have a 5, that's pretty dang abysmal. And then 6 is just bleh. But Claudio had a really good season, and I think he should be awarded for that. Now Cashner, a 4.4 WAR, 166 innings pitched, 3.40 ERA, but a 4.61 FIP. So that's about average to about poor. It isn't good. It isn't horrible. He wasn't, like, the defense was really good for him. It felt like he was just getting bailed out a lot, it seemed. But Cashner was still pretty solid. He was our best starting pitcher, which is just awful. But he was consistently decent, and that, if that warrants a payday, I don't know. But I think that he's most solid pitcher, which is just kind of sad. I hate to admit it, but our pitching was probably the worst I think I've ever seen. I've only been watching the Rangers for like 5 or 6 years, but still, I can't get past that pitching. Now, Keone Kela, who was really solid this season, didn't play all that much, but 38 innings pitched, 2.79 ERA, which is really solid, and a 3.26 FIP, which is, again, really solid. Kela was great when he needed to be. He was injured for a little while, but he was just fantastic all the way through. I really liked his game. I think he was really good, really smart, baseball IQ, and I think that he was just a really solid pitcher for us. Bush, 52 innings pitched, 3.78 ERA for FIP. That's like borderline decent. Like, that's borderline average. So I guess that's all you could say right there. Hamels, just a very disappointing year. 1.48 innings pitched. So even though he was bad, he just kind of get late in innings either. So it was just really a lose-lose instead of win-win. 4.20 ERA, so 4.20 plays it, but 4.62 FIP, which is just poor. It's just bad. And then Perez, 185 innings pitched, 4.82 ERA with a 4.65 FIP. So here's a good example. The defense was kind of bad for him. It seems like from the numbers. I didn't get to watch that much of Perez, honestly, just because I'd rather watch a game with Darvish or whatever. But when I did watch him, it seemed like the defense was kind of just off for him most games. But that's just the team you're on, so you can't really control that. Now, if he has a lower FIP than his ERA, that means that he was a better pitcher with the defense making any mistakes. So that's kind of obvious. But he wasn't a pitcher. I mean, that's still a pretty poor FIP, but it's better than his ERA, which isn't saying much. So I don't know. He was just pretty bad overall. Now, you guys know how disappointed I was when they got swept by the A's in that long stretch, and I think they got swept the Mariners. And then there was just some series where that was just like so soul crushing. Like you could, if you won those series, who knows what it would have looked like right now. Like the Twins weren't even that great of a team when they got in the playoffs, and that wild card was wide open, and you guys just let it go. It's really disappointing, but if they just won a couple of series here or there, a couple more games, who knows what would have happened. And that's how frustrating it is. They got swept like a few times by teams that they had no business being swept by. Like I think they got swept by the A's a couple of times, which is just horrendous. What are you doing out there? Like, you're in a race. Why are you giving up against this team? It's pretty dang abysmal, but I don't know what to expect from next year, honestly. I don't know if Belcher would retire. I don't know what would happen, but if there was any time to go on a rebuild, I don't know. I don't know if you go on it now. I don't know if you go on it in a couple of years. But I think you should start it now. You've got pieces like Gallo that are still young, and if you wait 5 or so years to rebuild, they're not going to be young anymore. So this is probably the best time to do it, in my opinion. But I don't think that they're going to go that way. Maybe they try and rebuild in time to the 2020 grand opening of the new stadium. That would honestly be a smart move. Don't start rebuilding around that time, or else you're screwed. Just don't do it. It's an awful idea. Start right now and then basically be the Astros for the next couple of years. I'm so sad that I have to say that, but it worked for them. So I don't know what to think of this team. I don't know what to think of the future, but it's going to be a tough next season, probably, most likely, unless they get something going, unless they get a good trade. If we lose a team, who knows? But it will take a lot to get this team back, and it's tough saying that, definitely. Now, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure you like. If you guys really enjoy it, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys later in the next episode tomorrow. Goodbye.